Well, welcome everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for coming. As I was saying earlier, I am super excited at the amount of interest that we have seen come through and the number of people that are on this call. We actually have quite a wide variety of the education spaces that you're all coming from. And so I think it will open up a really robust conversation that I'm really excited about. The main goal today is we're going to dive into DISC. We're going to look at a couple of the ways that Indigo is able to really work with schools in our main product offerings. We're going to break some of those down just so that you can see what's available to your students, to your staff, to those that you might be working with. And really the other goal is to really engage with each other, open up the dialogue, and hopefully see how each of us are using it a little different and how we might really be able to learn from each other. I think if Sherry and I have learned nothing over the last 7 years, it's that when you put these amazing tools in the hands of really creative and innovative, like people that love their craft, you all come up with things that I never could have created. And so I'm really grateful that one of the opportunities we have right now is a little more space in our days that maybe we could participate in a conversation like this. So, who's on this phone call right now? I thought some of this context might be helpful. So about a quarter of us work in that high school or middle school setting. Another quarter are in the nonprofit sector, still working with students or in education or young people. There's another 17% that work with students in schools, but they're not actually employed by the school. We have a university group on the board, or group on the call. We have some that are actually in district, regional, or state leadership within education organizations. And then we have a whole bunch of others. So this spread makes me really encouraged, again, at the robustness of experience that will be on the call, and really just how we can share our experiences and use what others are doing from different student style settings. I think people are people, and we can all use different strategies maybe that we've each learned or have tried. I think most of those will translate to most any other setting. Something that we all have in common is really most of us have seen a pretty big shift in our daily lives. I think this is probably no surprise to anyone, but I was surprised at really how much of the shift is true for all of us. So before these recent changes, about 80% of us were working mostly or 100% either on a campus or in an office. And now the vast majority of us are working from home either most of the time or all the time. Most of us were also used to seeing our students face to face either every day or most every day. And now most of us are not. And those cause big shifts for us. They're causing big shifts for our students. And so that's why part of our conversation around DISC today, we want to really keep this relevant and current for what's going on. And so we're going to talk about DISC in a way that we may not have together before, which is really around how do we show up in our DISC styles under times of stress.